If you want to see how we built this freestanding deck, stay tuned, because that's what we're going to do today. Well, welcome to Memphis Monday 279. Today we're going to be building a freestanding patio deck, but let's see, show and tell. It's such a big project, took about 2 weeks. I'm actually doing the intro here after we've already completed the project. It was just too hard to video it and get anything out of it because it's just too much. So it's really going to be a show and tell. But in subsequent weeks, we're going to be building a garden bridge for the patio deck, and that one we'll really be able to get down into the details on it. But let's knock off the chit chat and get to work. Here's the deck we built. It's a standalone deck with the post for the guardrail also serving as part of the frame for the deck. Where the deck meets the patio, we install these steps here. That's the step is made from ground contact rated 2x8s. The way we built this deck is, first thing we did is figure out where we wanted it and then install these posts. There's 11 of them. And the hard part about that is getting the post exactly in line, because your deck is going to be based on that alignment. Next thing is to install this board all the way around, this frame board. Could call it a rim joist. It goes all the way around the freestanding structure. Third step is to install joists that go across between the rim joists. You can decide which way you want that rim joist, or which way you want your joist, because you want your decking boards to go long ways on your deck. So this is sort of in an L shape, so we want the deck boards to go this way on this side, and then this way on this side. And so there's joists that go across underneath right here. But you can't build a deck and just put all the weight on this outer frame. The weight has to be held by girders underneath. Let me show you those. So underneath, also running lengthwise, is our girder system. You can see it's held with, it's got posts on pads, all connected with metal, and those are 2x6s. So the weight of the deck is being held by those girders. And the girders are also holding up that diagonal joist We showed you the girdering system that holds up this part, the south part of the deck here, and then we have the same girdering system on this side, which I can't show you because we're covering it up. We got a varmint barrier. You don't you don't want to leave these things open because you're going to get critters living underneath it. So you got to be pretty careful about that. And this is kind of cool. We got we're actually using some of the things we've built in our series. There's some of the sawhorses, more sawhorses over here. Using our step stool we built last year, I think. And over there is our table we built as an example on how to build tables. But it's turned into a real nice worksite table. So today what we're going to do is we're going to finish the deck up. It's too big a project to make a video on, so we're just going to do the finishing up by putting the guardrail on. You can see this really is my neighbor's. That is the Memphis shop right there. I'm working alone right now, so I've got to hold these things up. I'm gonna try holding it up with a clamp. Then see if I can pull this thing up flush down here. I can pull the other end up, fire in a few nails. This isn't a structural piece. This is just some deck wood using to keep critters out from underneath the deck. That critter guard in place. It looks pretty good. And what I've done is I've gone around and put the guardrail stringers in and just put them in place with clamps. And now what we'll do is we'll go around and nail the, put a level on them and nail them and make sure that they're level.
Good morning, sunshine.
Good morning. What I mean?
It looks like Keaton showed up. You remember him? This is my buddy Jim. These guys are helping me, sort of. Okay, so I got the big 6-foot level on here. Now I just nail it in place. Well, we got the deck guardrail in. Here you can see the whole deck. We got the varmint guards all the way around it. The key here, the takeaway is that you need to make sure that everything is level and plumb. That will erase a lot of your sins. The deck is a standalone deck. Standalone means that it's not connected to the house. It's actually connected to 19 posts that are in the ground about 2.5 feet with 80 pounds of concrete. The pickets are on 5-inch centers, which means that they're about 4 inches apart. The deck also has a complementary. The guardrail continues on around the rest of the patio. Exact same arrangement. I guess the takeaway is to make sure that the connection between the deck and the guardrail, if you got an outside guardrail like this, that it meets somewhat professionally. Same way here, make sure that all the corners are mitered and they fit up against the house. It's not connected to the house, but it goes right up to it. You can see the deck from another angle. You can see that the deck actually continues. What it does, it actually flows with the concrete deck. It's the same width and just continues around. I already showed you the steps, but we added that center trim right there. That is just some molding, some triangular molding we put in the crack there. Kind of give it a finished look. Here's another thing you got to think about is when this guardrail that continues on over here, you got to make sure that it flows nicely into the deck part. You can see here that even the spacing going from the deck to the lower deck, the spacing continues. Here's a picture of the deck. Flows out here. The only thing we don't have is the entrance. The entrance isn't done yet. That is going to be a garden bridge. It's called a garden bridge, and we're going to put it in right here. It'll be curved. You can see that piece of curved wood over there. The deck's going to be curved and the handrails are going to be curved, and that'll be a future Memphis Monday project. Okay, I guess that does it for Memphis Monday 279. Another deck. This is a little bit different than the other decks we built because this is it's only about a foot off the ground, or maybe a foot and a half off the ground, but it's freestanding, which means it's not connected to anything else. All the weight is held by 19 posts in the ground, plus central girders along the longitudinal axis of the long side and also the short side. Well, I told you it was going to be a show and tell. We didn't actually show much work, but I think we've got a good feeling for how the deck was put together and the difference between a freestanding deck and a deck that's connected to the house in some way. Check your codes before you build one. A lot of places, if it's not connected to the house and it's not higher than a certain number of inches off the ground, the codes don't even apply. They don't even call it a deck. It's just a wooden platform. So check that out before you dig into it. Okay, like, share, favorite. Make sure you comment now. And is that all? Nope, one more thing. Make sure you're back here next week for another exciting Memphis Monday. Thanks for playing along.